think they just wanted more clarity or like us to define what we would be asking of the partner and then what we would be providing for the Just Walk locations that we're planning to start. So I highlighted the things that change because you don't know this, but there's going to be 4 applications at the next meeting, so there'll be a lot of
Wow.
implementation projects to go through. So I think we'll do this one first because it's a repeat, and we'll just highlight the new things to move through it. They already said that they would approve it. They just wanted us to define these things a little better.
So yeah, we went through and kind of better defined the roles of like the business and industry sector as we go forward with this, and then what the partner expectations look like long term. That way, as we reach out to these partners, whether it be Y or AMC 30 or whoever else, they kind of know what to expect when we hand this over to them. And so essentially our goal is to provide that startup support, continue to support and finding healthcare leads to lead those topics at the walks, as well as provide marketing, communication, and support, continue to help co-brand as needed, or social media, marketing flyers, whatever they might need. And then the contract submission support with that Just Walk campaign. And then the partners' expectations would be to provide the program. Basically, there'll be a champion for us on those sites to help really market it, not only to their associates, but other organizations around there. It could be co-partnered. So it might be like maybe AMC's like, hey, yeah, I'll do a couple months. And then someone else over there is willing to do a couple months as well. And then marketing and communication for that walk, once we kind of hand it over to them, it's our expectations that they continue to market for it to keep that walk going. And then to kind of help, since they are located in Town Center, where we're hoping to have this Just Walk implemented, potentially leaning on whichever partner to help us implement maybe a good walking path, since they're familiar with the area, as well as they would occur that $250 cost for that second year. So we would cover it for this first year, and then that partner program, their expectation would be that they cover it that second year. I think those were it.
Yeah, and then I think we just kind of specified who would be in control of the budget down here.
Which ended up just being the Just Walk committee for the KCPA plan.
Yeah, rather than just giving them money and not knowing if they spend it towards the program, we'll have items that they can select to help start their program, and we could get them sent to them.
So hopefully with those few clarifications, and then I think we better clarified what the money would be going to as well. I think they kind of questioned, like, in terms of swag items, what does that look like?
Yeah.
So better clarifying that, and then with describing what our role is, as well as what the partner's role is once we hand it off. The hopes is it should be a pretty easy approval next week.
Yeah. Okay. I will open the sports equipment donation application.
Okay. So this one we have just finalized, so we have not presented it or anything yet. So we'll kind of walk through it and determine if we feel like there's any changes that need to be made or anything we want to add to it. And so basically the description of this project, the project would expand the sports equipment collection program that was implemented in 2024, which partnered with Kansas City Corporate Challenge through their Kickoff Walk program. Participants were invited to drop off new or gently used equipment during events to be redistributed to area organizations. We propose continuing to this partnership with Kansas City Corporate Challenge, creating opportunities for sports equipment collection at events during the 2025 season. As part of the KCPA plan sports sector, a need for youth sports equipment for school-age kids has been identified. As a result, the business and industry sector would like to expand an opportunity provided in 2024 for attendees of the Kansas City Corporate Challenge Kickoff Walk to provide an opportunity for,
Sorry.
nope, you're okay, for attendees to once again drop off sports equipment in the Fit-tastic Family Fun Zone, along with offering opportunities in conjunction with some of the other KC Corporate Challenge events. Does that sound good, or anything we want to add to it?
No, I think it sounds good.
And Fit-tastic Family Fun Zone is what it's called again this year.
Yes.
Make sure we, okay, have that correct. So the strategies this hits would be strategy 11 of the Parks and Rec Department. Recreation centers and community partners should develop new park programs that support physical activity opportunities for all residents. Strategy 23,
Go.
leaders. This is also sports.
These two are sports. Oh,
Okay, perfect. So strategy 23 and 24 of the sports sector. So leaders in multiple sectors should expand across the recreational spaces and quality sports programming while focusing on eliminating disparities in access based on race, ethnicity, gender, disability, social economic status, geography, age, and sexual orientation. And then 24, sports organizations should adapt policies and practices that promote overall health. And then leading into business and industry, we've got 2 here. So 41, encourage employees and their families to adopt a physical active lifestyle through opportunities and incentives with tactics 1 and 2. And then engage in cross-sectional partnerships to encourage physical activity in workplaces and extend these efforts to local communities and regions. So this one covers tactics 1, 2, and 3. So good there in the sense that it's cross-sectorial across 3 different areas. So sports, parks and rec, and business and industry. So definitely better for us there than what we were with the Just Walk. Which system levels does this project address? And so individual interpersonal by distributing sports equipment to those who need it, as well as organization and aligning, which is helping to get efforts of sports equipment to those in need.
I think this one, they'll probably want us to point out how that's happening, and I think we'll highlight the partnership with schools with identifying donation sites for the equipment, and then Parks and Rec with the corporate event would be the organizing those agencies for this.
And our next step. So what other sectors would be involved in this project? Like I mentioned, not only business and industry, but it will also touch with Parks and Rec, as well as sports sector, school sector, and even potentially media and communications.
They might ask about this too, Tanya, on Tuesday for the media and communications. I think we might say our plan is to use the Move Together campaign to advertise and promote it.
Yeah, no, I think that would be great. I think that was part of, I think if I recall last, we were going to put their logo on the banners and then have KCPA pretty low in the bottom. Was that kind of the final? Okay, so yeah, that'd be good. And then what would be the next steps after completing this project? After this project, our hope is that we can continue offering this opportunity at the kickoff walk at the 2026 Kansas City Corporate Challenge event. But not only that, our goal is to continue to grow the program to partner with area businesses for sports equipment collection, connecting with schools and organizations for distribution, and exploring further partnerships for growth for both the collection and distribution of the equipment. And so we've kind of brainstormed several ways of doing this. We haven't jumped quite on board with one. And I don't know here, Natalie, if this is maybe not here, but maybe up above. We mentioned having a flyer that organizations could pick up or those that might be there if they know that there is a school or a place of need, and then how they could reach out to one of us to get their names on a list for potential location distribution. Is that something we're still wanting to include?
I think I should maybe put that as an example next step here.
And that's something I can send out in a company coordinator email too, to all the companies that are participating. Here's what we're doing. So that way it gets directly into those company coordinators' hands, which those people are a little more in tune to probably pass it along than maybe, than somebody at the walk might gather, a flyer or whatever. So we can do that as well as far as corporate challenge goes.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And probably if the flyer says, or we can say it in there too, is, if you're not coming to the walk, or if there's not very many people coming to the walk from your company or whatever it might be, maybe they can do their own, equipment drive, and they can bring it to the office, and then have just, a couple people bring out everything. So if you're not attending, then that can be part of it. Cause we're going to send out, as soon as people start signing up and all that, we'll probably have, over 20,000 people sign up. We plan on sending a couple emails directly to everybody that signs up about some of these events. And this would be one of those things like, hey, we're in need of and looking for gently used sporting equipment. Here's your options 1, 2, and 3 to be able to help out the, people locally who are in need of this type of thing. So those are things we can do as well.
Awesome. Yeah, that'd be great. Okay, and then amount of funding to be requested. Currently, we're around 600. 300 that would be for the feather flags. Looking at 2 of the flags, I believe. And then 75 would be to purchase collection boxes for the equipment donation. 50 of that would be for for netting within the collection boxes. 75 would be for communications and marketing to help promote the program, as well as I think we landed on posters to go outside of the boxes versus stickers. And then the flyers, like I mentioned, for the next steps. And then 100 would be used for cost and transportation and distribution of equipment if that was needed. I think if I recall, it sounded like last year that wasn't actually necessary. You guys were able to pretty much hand it off at the time of the event.
Yeah.
But if not, then, or maybe we don't want that. Okay, perfect.
I don't think we want to be responsible for driving
For
around
that.
the cities. Yeah, dropping off.
Awesome. I think this one should hopefully be a pretty easy sell to the group.
Yeah. As far as those like the stickers we talked about, I did hear back on those, but they didn't make very large ones. Like the biggest size they would make was I think 18 in height and 12 inches wide. So it might just be better to get a poster that we tape on the side of the box.
Side of boxes. Okay. And I think cost wise, because I think someone on the last call said cost wise, those stickers are super expensive, supposedly.
If we did like a custom, like big size, they would be.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Well, if you're still looking for cost, the savings, that's $75 to purchase collection boxes. I think we did this last year, and we could do it again this year. We, those portable cardboard trash cans that you can take to events that fold up, and just put your trash liner inside of it. We have a bunch of those, and we could put those out, and people could drop items into those instead of going and purchasing a collection box. We could bring out whatever 6 of those and just put some signs on it, be like, hey, whatever, athletic shoes on this one, balls here, whatever else that you're looking for. You can kind of label the boxes, and people could drop in what they wanted to, or just dump it in and go either way. That would save you $75 to doing that.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. Yeah.
As far as like making sure that happens, is it just you that we need to remind, or
Yes,
does it get put
just
on a list?
yes,
Okay.
me. And I'll put it on our list of things we bring out.
Okay.
Good question, Natalie.
Thank you. guys have a lot of stuff you bring out there. I could see how it could get easily
Yeah.
messy.
So I think that brings it to 425 then. If you
Yeah.
add it up.
With it being such a small amount, I don't see this like not getting funded.
How did you guys go about it last year? Was it approved last year? Or did this
No,
even run through you
it
guys
was
last
kind of like just last minute thrown together last year. I do need to ask Shelly. I think she got the list from Cornerstones of Care of equipment needs, but I'm not sure who she contacted. So I need to follow up with her to see how we can get that list. So I can start.
She contacted Sally Cook,
Okay.
and I could get you, well, I don't know if Shelly wants to do it or whatever, but if you need Sally's info, I can get you her email address as well.
Okay. I will email Shelly after this and see if
okay.
she wants to reach out again. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. Can you think, like, while we're asking for money, Tanya, is there something else we should be asking for?
I mean, if you're asking for money, I could always put something down for corporate challenge. I mean, we always need
You know, I didn't attend last year because I was on leave. But nothing's coming to mind right now in terms of envisioning how it went. Anything you can see, Chad, and that should have operated differently or needed?
No, I mean, we just, because Shelly, I mean, because Children's of Mercy, they bring their volunteers for the year out to that event to help them run that Kid Active Zone, along with Allison from our department. Obviously, those two steer that portion out. So, I mean, we just put her over there, and I think she assigned 1 or 2 people to come, and that's kind of their thing, is to watch. And if people are walking around with stuff looking to donate, get it in there. So I don't think it was very hard or very much work on our end or their end as far as that goes. So I don't think it was that big of a deal. That was pretty easy, pretty slick.
And are we kind of envisioning that this year it'll be pretty easy just to hand off the equipment at the time of the event as well?
Yes.
Kind of like last year. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And that way, as we lead up to it, we can, send emails out and just keep informing them, here's what's happening, in that area, and, please bring stuff. And then we can always, if it gets to be a bunch or whatever, we can always, change out those trash bags with stuff, and then always put new ones in there and put that in like one of our vans, or I'm sure we'll have a truck and trailer out there as well, and that type of thing. If it doesn't fit into a car, we'll make it happen. We'll figure out how to get the stuff back to town, I guess, or back to this side, and then go from there.
Awesome. Hey, Missy.
Hello. How are you all doing? Sorry, I'm late. Had a work meeting.
Okay, I mean, we were pretty efficient. We went through both the applications.
Oh, nice. Chad, what do you think?
No, it looks good. I mean, we added a little bit of stuff here and there.
Perfect.
Like I said, it's things that we can help with as well, as far as, the collection boxes. Don't need to do that. We can bring some stuff for people to put stuff in, and we'll promote it. If we get a flyer and what have you, we can send it in a company coordinator email and promote it. Like, we talked about at the board meeting. One of our board members, like, hey, they should do it, in-house, I guess not fundraiser, but collection, and then they can bring it out to the event and just drop it off that night, whoever's coming, those things. So those things we can do to try to help and get as much stuff for these kids and families as we can.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be a good opportunity for our participants to clean out their closets.
Right.
That stuff just collects.
It does.
Most part, people really brought new stuff. I'd say over 70% of it was new stuff.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Which is cool. That's awesome that people are willing to just go purchase a little bit to help some kids out.
Yeah, I think we talked about that. We had one of the sponsors was like, beneficiaries was a football team, and like we wondered about helmets and things, if we should be
Oh,
getting them used, if, but I think things like the cleats or some of the other
Yeah.
things were okay, or the quality that people donated were fine.
Yeah, that's good.
yeah. I'm sure that's probably like a league decision that they decide when taking in that equipment versus what we would need to dictate for them, I would imagine.
Yeah, usually they inspect it and then put some kind of sticker on it to make sure that people know that it's, a legal helmet or whatever to use. So they all got their own standards because, yeah, there's always that liability thing. So they're pretty
Mhm.
careful with that.
I know I'm kind of jumping in here, but I also don't know if Chad shared, I'm touching base with Sally with Cornerstones of Care for a list of items that they are in need of with sports equipment so that that can be promoted within this as well to support the overall organization and charity of choice.
Natalie, are there
Yeah.
any questions that you anticipate that maybe we haven't answered?
For when we present it to the other sectors.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean? I think their questions will be, how are we growing this program and how do we plan to hand it off? And I think that's, we're doing this partnership with Corporate Challenge. And eventually our hope is to grow it where we partner businesses with specific locations and organizations where when they do equipment, they can know where to drop it off and where to take it and who needs it. And, it doesn't necessarily need to have us or Corporate Challenge involved. If Burns and Mac knows that Johnson County Park and Rec has leagues that, needs equipment and they do a sports equipment drive, they can reach out to them directly for what those needs are and drop off. So I think just like that would answer that question, don't you think, Natalie?
I think so.
On how we envision this eventually being a semi self-sustaining program.
Do we envision there needing to be, or that for at least at the beginning, there being a middleman to connect these two organizations? And is
Yeah.
that middle person us?
Yeah.
think-
Or
I think in some instances, yes. I think in other instances, if we can get like you said, Garmin in that nearby school, if we can get them connected and we step back and they just communicate with one another, and then Garmin knows to reach out with us if they have a surplus of equipment and we can connect them elsewhere. I think that would be like the
once that
goal.
relationship's built, then it will
Yeah.
continue to
Yeah.
probably grow.
Yeah. Now with something like Corporate Challenge with this, we'll probably be the middleman for quite a while. But this is such a good avenue to get those corporations interconnected with locations in need and how to get that collection and dispersing happening that, and it's like it's pretty low cost
Mhm.
to no cost.
Yes. Yeah.
So-
We went from
so-
600 to 425.
Yeah. So I think with this, just because Corporate Challenge, doesn't have the manpower to be the middleman on this, that would be a lot for them to take on additionally. But I think we can utilize it in different ways to create the opportunity and then step back. Our goal is to create the connection and then step away. And if a company says, hey, we did a sports equipment collection, and they reach out to Corporate Challenge or to KCPA, we then are just able to connect and they take it and go.
Right.
I think is the goal, is that we're just driving connections and stepping away.
I might be able to create, well, I think I could, on the website, we could just create like a Google form or Microsoft form, where if people have equipment or equipment needs, then they could submit those needs there. So then that could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
be an
That'd be
ongoing
Yeah,
thing.
that might be like a good next step, long-term
Yeah.
thing to create.
Then you just promote that link and that
Yeah.
hopefully will.
Because
Maybe
hopefully them
before-
seeing us create this opportunity at the kickoff walks. Like we put in here, they'll do their own drives and then drop off at the kickoff walk, but eventually they'll do their own drives and then just connect with organizations in need. Would be the goal.
Mhm. If we start getting a running list of needs,
Yes.
that might be something that we could provide.
Yeah.
a corporate
If this-
challenge earlier in the
If,
year.
and you know, if this becomes like a very big thing,
Yeah.
if it needs more manpower.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Awesome. Anything y'all need me for?
I was telling them, Missy, that there's 4 applications to review next Tuesday, so
Oh.
there's not going to be that much time. So I don't see them getting into the like minutia of this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I thought maybe Robin would be picky about some of the tactics we picked, but I don't think we're going to get to go in depth that much with each of the tactics. I'm not that worried about it anymore.
Okay.
To our benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go in the middle this time, not last.
Well, I think I told them the walk one is planned to go first, just because it'll
Okay.
be like a quick review to get through it,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
The healthcare one, I think, is a lot more complicated of an application.
Okay.
So I
So
think
we might be first.
I think ours are gonna go pretty quick.
Okay. Perfect. Well,
And
I
we're
now know a
asking
little
for-
more what to expect. So
Yeah.
when talking through it, we can dive a little deeper on some of those questions.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, great job.
So this is getting approved next Tuesday is what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was gonna say something on Thursday at the meeting, company coordinator meeting, but I'll probably hold off. And then just once it's approved, if we get something put together, then I can include it in an email with some other information I send out, and then we just kind of keep hitting it there. And then Missy, I told him too that
Mhm.
once we get towards deadline day, and then the kickoff event coming up in April, we plan on doing some additional marketing where we're going to send to everybody an email, a generic email to everybody that signed up, right? Just corporate
Perfect.
challenge reasons, but then I can include this as well. Hey, if you're coming out to the kickoff, here's what we're looking for, and send that information. So it actually gets in the hands of everybody that signed up to participate, or at least signed the waiver to be a part of Corporate Challenge in 2025. So reaches out to a few more folks that way.
Awesome. And then we'll do Spirit Week again this year for businesses as well, right? Leading
Yes.
up to kickoff. So it could be like a little footer on that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good.
So, I mean, I'm thinking if you're like, what business are we going to try to, get it more involved too? I was like, well, why don't we ask Christy about PNC, for
Mm.
like, would they want to have a spot where people could drop off some equipment
Oh.
in their lobby? Because there's somebody in their lobby manning that the whole day, every day.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then, and/or park and recreation facilities, if you get them involved eventually or whatever, like their main office, and then they can use some of that for their own programming for those people that need a little extra help or whatever too. And that would be easy locations for people to get to that would be open more
Yeah.
than maybe just 8 to 5 type of thing.
Yeah. And if a park and rec is the location, I mean, it'd be easy for you to pull out what Cornerstones needs and then pull out what your programs need and then get it dispersed otherwise.
Right. So
Yeah, I like it. Awesome. I need to put a text message out to all my friends that have kids and say, time to clean out those sports closets.
right.
I like the new equipment too, but I do like that, like, because a lot of things are like shin guards and things are only used one season and then
They outgrow 'em.
they outgrow them, especially with like the littles. And so it'd be good to get that all recycled.
Yes, and I mean, I don't know who would all be interested in going to try and do this, but like, Dick's Sporting Goods might, once this gets done and kind of give them information about it, might jump on it.
Mm.
They're not necessarily going to give you cash, but they could be like, all right, you got a couple $100 in gift cards to spend, in our store, but you can buy a few things or whatever they might do. That might be something if, give them a little bit publicity, they could give you some stuff to at least
Yeah.
have in the buckets or get started with something like that too, as far as that goes.
Yeah.
Plus, a lot of those large organizations can write it off.
Yes.
Mhm.
It's just stuff sitting in their,
Yeah.
in their warehouse or whatever. And they're like, we just need to get rid of this stuff.
Yeah. Now,
especially if
now
it's-
they'll know where to dump it.
Yeah.
Right in Natalie's office.
I don't know. I
I
might
keep
connect
joking
them.
about that. I don't know if you appreciate my jokes about just equipment stacked up behind you.
It wouldn't have been that bad before, but now that the hospital moved us where we have 5 people in our office, like it gets congested when we're all there.
You might ask if I think there's probably some open office space in Crown Center. You could probably tuck it away in or in one of the in that new lab building maybe. We're just gonna take this floor.
Yeah, our philanthropy department, sometimes people just drop off stuff for the kids like this. And they
Yeah.
were so excited last year when I asked, because they're like, we have been storing this sports equipment for like 3 years and don't know what to do with it. But I'm gonna
That's
ask them
great.
again if they had any more donations. this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. Well, now they know what to do with it, especially once we get that doc linked on the page.
Mhm.
They'll know where to send it.
I wonder if this is something you post maybe in a Facebook group too. Have you seen those free Facebook groups?
Mm.
This might be a place where
Yeah.
you would get, like, if you're able to post it there,
Yeah. We could,
it'd
Chad,
be
do you
more
think we
so
could
where
post
they're gonna
it?
take it to.
Yeah. Chad, do you
But
think we
not-
could post it in the corporate challenge social medias and then have KCPA share it to their social medias?
Yeah, we could do that.
That might be good, like a collaborative,
Yeah.
or vice versa, have KCPA post something and then corporate challenge share. That might be easier too.
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
And then hopefully we get some individuals sharing it into those groups and things. Tanya, do you think that would work?
I think so, yeah.
That way it all comes back to the kickoff walk as the distribution location or the drop-off location.
Yeah.
So that would probably, our website and social media probably gets a little more action as we get closer to the event.
Yeah.
So something like that would be like, let's say it's early March or something like that. So then we kind of have a month to, maybe get it posted a couple times, once a week or whatever, leading up to that April, whatever it is, the 11th, where we could do the
Mhm.
kickoff. So, but but if it gets approved next Tuesday or whatever, and we can, get a flyer put together. I can send that out or put that out as, here's something new for 2025, help, corporate challenge all about community health and wellness and sports. Here's a way to help out, start your own, equipment drive at the office and bring it to the company coordinator meet or the kickoff party. We can start that, as early as, February or whatever, as far as that goes.
Great.
Perfect.
So-
I guess once you hear back from Sally about the items they need, then I'll start
Mhm.
adding those to a flyer.
Okay. Yeah. Hopefully I'll connect with her this week.
She'll be there Thursday.
Yeah. If not, I will see her bright and early Thursday.
Okay.
I'll see you too, Tanya, right? Will you
As-
be there
yeah.
at the company coordinator meeting?
As long as everything goes smoothly this week, yeah, I'll be there. I'm pretty sure I came in office once or twice last week with kids not in school, so.
Oh.
No stays away, we're good.
Yeah, that's right.
Stay healthy, we're good.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's good. Now I know of somebody I can make fun of during my presentation. So thanks, Tanya. Make sure you
Excuse me, yep,
sit front row.
100%.
Sit front row. I got some jokes.
Oh.
Good.
Okay. Well, I guess we can get a few minutes back in our day.
Okay.
Great,
Sounds
yeah.
good.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
All right. Thank
Well,
you.
it's good seeing you all.
You as well. All right. Take